Okay, so welcome. And today we are going to continue and we're going to talk about the whole number line. We're going to talk about whole numbers and comparing whole numbers and using the number line as a way of comparing one number to another number. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to start with that, and then we're going to do an example and talk about, hey, the other aspects of the number line that you are going to need to know about. Okay, so if we look at this example here, or not example, but if we look at this number line, so this is what we call a number line. And so this is a graphical display that allows us to be able to compare the size of numbers. Okay, so we can see based on this that the numbers go from the smallest on the left to the largest or larger ones on the right. So it goes from left to right, increasing in size. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, a couple things to point out is these arrows say that the number line goes in both directions to infinity. Okay, and so infinity is a mathematical concept. It doesn't have a lot of application in the physical world, but in mathematics, it helps us to realize that this is going on forever. Okay, so as far as the whole number line. Okay, so in this case here, if we look at the whole numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, this is the way we could use to compare whole numbers. Now again, if we were looking at other values, we could use the number line as well. Okay, so the concept of infinity, just so we are clear, is when we look at the arrows going in both directions, it basically says that, hey, these numbers will go on for infinity. Okay, so now, how can we compare numbers? Well, this brings up another thing, because based on what I'm saying here, we have the increasing number line from left to right. So if something is over here, for example, let's say 1, well, then if we take another number over here, if we take two values, let's say 1 and 3, then we know that 3 is going to be greater than 1, or 1 is going to be less than 3. Okay, so this gives us an idea of another other group of symbols called the inequality. Okay, so the inequality tells us the comparison between two values. So there are two inequalities. We have the less than symbol, which is going to be denoted by this, and then we have greater than, which is denoted by this. So whatever number is on the left is less than the number on the right. Or if you use greater than, what this is saying is that whatever number is on the left is greater than the number on the right. So we can use either one of those inequalities to make a comparison. Okay. Another thing to realize is that the arrow always points to the smaller number. If you ever get confused about which one to use, the arrow points to the smaller number. Or in other words, the mouth points to the larger number. For example, when I was in grade school or elementary school, when I was learning this stuff, one of the things in the workbooks that we had were little alligators, and the alligator's mouth always opened towards the larger number of fish, or the larger number of ducks, or whatever it was that we were looking at. So the way I remember is the mouth always goes towards the larger number, okay? But conversely, the arrow points to the smaller number. Either way, it'll help you get the right symbol, okay? Now, the way you do this, there's basically 3 steps. I want to write down. So as you're going through this, step one, you mentally position the numbers on the number line, the two numbers that you're trying to compare. And then two, you're going to then select the number that's farthest to the left. So you're going to select okay. And this is going to be the smaller number. Okay, so that's step two. And so then, step three is either you're going to use the less than symbol or you're going to use the greater than symbol. So you're going to write the inequality. So either you're going to write the smaller number is less than the larger number, or you're going to write the larger number is greater than the smaller number. So that's the only two options we're using right now. And that's it. So this is the three-step process that you're going to use. Okay? That's it. So let's do an example. Okay. So example, let's take let's say we want to compare, it doesn't matter, we could choose any two numbers. Let's do 32 and 15. Okay. So the first thing we do is we mentally, you can write this down or you can do it mentally. Right? So let's say we've got 15 over here somewhere, right? And then we've got 32 over here somewhere, right? Because remember, 15 is always going to be on the left because it's smaller, right? And then of course, now step two is we're going to select the number that's on the farthest to the left. That's the smaller number. And all we're using is the fact that the number line goes from smaller numbers to larger numbers left to right. Okay? So then once we know that this is the smaller number, this is smaller, this is larger. And so now, once we do that, now we can write our inequality, right? So we can either say 15 is less than 32, or we could say 32 is greater than 15. So either way works. And that's it. So again, just practice. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me in class. But practice on your own. Do some examples out of the textbook. Do the suggested homework problems. And other than that, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.